Yo, yo,
My man, how you doing?
man, I feel good.
Man, we
I
out
just,
here. Go ahead.
I just actually got off. I just got off the radio call with Doug from 97.1. So I'm already in the mood to talk Lions.
How that go? What you got? So this wasn't the plan for the podcast, but since you spoke to Mr. Doug, man, how'd that go?
Oh, basically, it was good. Doug basically reassured me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know I asked him pretty much. I was like, bro, when you look at this roster, because we was talking about the whole, Deshaun Watson possible thing, and I was just like, yo, when you look at this roster, does it scream rebuild to you? And he said
You were
yes.
you were breaking up. You got something else on?
Nah, nothing else.
Uh,
You can hear me now?
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, he pretty much was saying, I just told him, I asked him, like, hey, you yourself personally, if he was the GM and you looked at this roster, does it say rebuild? And he said, yeah, it says rebuild. And I said, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, I know that what I'm thinking is not crazy.
Right. And then what was the next step? You mentioned the Deshaun Watson factor?
Oh yeah, we both pretty much said we would love to have Deshaun Watson here. Of course, it's just a little few more factors. Like, would Deshaun, if he got traded here, you know what I'm saying, would he be still committed to winning here? And then of course, Stafford, would they want Stafford and everything like that? You know what I'm saying? So it's a few more moving parts, but we basically was on the same mindset.
Right. And I'm glad, broke that out because that's what this podcast was about. It was about Brad Holmes, uh, him being hired as the GM. Had a couple of days for the smoke to clear.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks like we're gonna have our coach, which is gonna be what's my guy's name?
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And I like both the guys, man. I think they actually fit each other, especially what Chris Spillman is trying to do. I think at first we didn't know the roles per se.
Right.
We didn't know if Brad Holmes had anything to do with the hiring of the coach.
Right.
We still don't know,
Still don't know. Yeah.
but it's kind of looking like to me that he did. How do you look at it on your end? Do you think Brad Holmes had anything to do with Dan Campbell coming in?
I don't. I don't think. I mean, of course, I think at this point, they kind of asked him and included him in and kind of told him what they got from Dan when they interviewed him. But what I'm picking up, and hopefully I am wrong, but I pretty much think that Holmes is there because I seen another report this morning that the guy from Michigan is pretty much going to handle all of the desk GM stuff. Like he's going to handle all of the contractual stuff,
The
agreements.
guy that we had there already.
Yeah, yep, the guy that
The
we
guy, yeah,
already.
the guy. He's real good. I
Yeah,
like the guy.
yeah,
He's
no, he's
he's real
he's
good.
good. He's a football guy too, so I like him. But what I read in the article was he's pretty much gonna, and it was by a reputable source too, so it's not just me throwing out hot air. He's gonna pretty much handle all of the GM desk stuff, and Holmes is gonna let they're gonna that's gonna allow Holmes to do his thing with scouting talent in the draft, which is what he's good at, and I think that's why they hired him. And at the end of the day, that's gonna allow Spielman to be Spielman is running this thing. You know what I'm saying? Spielman is the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? Of anybody outside of Sheila Ford. You know what I'm saying? He's the closest thing to Sheila Ford, basically meaning he's the closest. He has the most power in that building at this point, besides Sheila Ford. And I think it could work out if that's what they're building. If they wanted to build it that way, like, look, we're gonna designate this guy to draft him because other other organizations do stuff like that too. You might have a GM, but just even looking at the Seattle Seahawks, their GM, and he's a great GM. He doesn't have full control, you know. So other organizations do it too, and I think if that's the route that they was going, I'm all for it. And we don't have anything else but to.
It's basically, I'm like, yo, be a master at what you do. You know what I mean?
Yep,
That's
yep.
that's where I'm at right now. Like, I don't want a GM to come in and have to save the world with the Lions. Yo, if
Mm,
Brad Holmes comes in and he could,
it's too much.
yeah, if he could come in, he scouts good and he could get us. and we can start winning at the draft level. Because just
Yeah,
listening to a lot of our conversation and podcasts, it's like it always come, no matter what, it always the draft, it's the draft, it's the draft, it's the draft. Yeah, we
it's the
had Bob,
draft.
we had Bob Quinn, and I throw his name out because he was our last GM, but I throw him out because yes, he brought in some key free agents, but a lot of them just came in from New England. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
more or
and they
less,
weren't really, and they didn't. I mean, honestly, most of the people that we did get from New England, they didn't contribute as much as we thought that they was going to. And I think like when you just really said it, you hit it on the head when you said if we can win through the draft, meaning if we can at least draft good talent, and this is why I'm not against everything that's going on right now until I'm proven different, of course. But I'm liking that. Like you said, be a master at what you do. You know what
what
I'm saying? If I
what was the? I gotta ask you because I know the
Yeah.
people. What? Because you know this stat. What was Brad Holmes' stat with the players that's still currently
Woo.
on the roster with the Los
Okay.
Angeles Rams?
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. Yeah, so he and I want to give everybody to the real, right? So he just is the guy. He was the guy in with the Los Angeles Rams that handled everything as far as the draft, except for drafting the players. But he reported directly to the GM. He reported directly to the GM, gave him his reports and his thoughts on each player, and which way, which direction to go, opposed to what depending on what they was looking for. And he's been in charge of that for the last 8 years, and I believe so. It's like since 2017, they've only drafted two players that are not currently, in the league. And then even if you go back to 2016, I think, or 2015, they've only drafted three players that are not currently in the league. And also, the Rams have not had a first round pick, I believe, in the last 3 or 4 years. Pretty much, they've drafted starters. They've drafted starters in the fourth and fifth rounds. Like one of their starting linebackers right now and he's actually leading in tackles on the team. He was a fifth round pick. So they found starters late in the draft, which is basically the key to, of course, I mean,
And that's a testimony to Brad Holmes. And I just want to say that's phenomenal.
yeah,
As a Lions fans, like
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, he like if he does that, that's crazy for us.
yeah.
I I,
Can
I
you
hope he
imagine?
I hope he
Uh,
just gets a little bit close to that. I don't like
yeah,
that. I don't even know if you could
he don't
duplicate
even
that.
have to exactly. And what's crazy is, and I think how it's going to work is I think the coaches and the coordinators are going to kind of go to him and tell him like these are the players that we're looking for. This is what kind of linebackers we want to get. This is what kind of wide receivers we're looking for. This is the kind of offensive lineman that we like. And I think he's going to then find that talent because the difference with him and Bob Quinn, I hate to bring up Bob Quinn, it's just he was our last GM and he was a scout as well, but he was a pro scout. And this guy
Big
is a
difference.
this guy's a college scout. His whole thing, his expertise is evaluating these college players and this college talent.
Big difference.
And
Big
I
difference.
think you can't go wrong. I think this is going to be a thing where everybody has a designed role, and I think that's good because with Bob Quinn, I think honestly he was pretty much doing it. I think he was doing most of that stuff himself because let's be real, Bob Quinn wasn't really respected like that in the league. He really wasn't respected like that in the league. Nobody was really running over here to, be on his team, to be on his staff, and
Right.
to have these, football guys here and give everybody a job. Just like with New England, when they draft a player, they're not going to draft a wide receiver to play cornerback. Whatever your specialty is, they're going to let you play that.
Right. And with that, like I said, I'm with the Brad Holmes hire. I like what he got going.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this one up, man. Check us out on the next podcast, the Detroit Lions season, the podcast.